Every parent has been there before. One minute your child is laughing, playing, and okay. And then the next minute, boom, it's a meltdown. There's crying, kicking off, and all of that. Now, it can actually feel very overwhelming and very confusing. But what if I told you that meltdowns aren't random? That there's always a root cause, and understanding the root cause of your child's meltdown is actually the key to you supporting your child. Hello everyone, I'm Chi-Chi Dagogo-Wariso from Blossom's Corner, and today we're diving into what lies beneath those big emotional outbursts. First of all, let's break it down. Meltdowns are indeed a form of communication. You can argue with me all you want, but when kids don't have the words to express what they're feeling, their emotions actually come out as crying, yelling, shutting down, throwing tantrums, But so let's explore what triggers these emotions. Now, number one is overstimulation. Kids are constantly absorbing everything around them. Bright lights, loud noises, crowded places. Imagine trying to focus on 10 TVs all in front of you at the same time. You will not be able to. Now, that's what it feels like as a child. And when you notice signs like this, when you notice them especially doing things like closing their ears, clinging to you, getting irritable, crying unnecessarily, they might just be overwhelmed. Number two is hunger or fatigue. Now, just like adults, we can also get very cranky and irritable when we're tired and when we are hungry. It's also the same with children. When they're very tired, a child starts crying, especially the little ones, they become very irritable, very cranky, and also when they're hungry. Now, for babies, a lot of times when they cry, it's not because they want to cry. They're crying because they're actually reaching out to say, I need help with something. It's either I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I want to sleep, I want to suck. They always want something, and that's the best way they can communicate, by crying. And those are what we call meltdowns. Now, especially when they can't articulate or identify what the emotion or whatever they're feeling at that time, then they let it out. And most times their body might just be crying out for help, right? And that's what we tag as a meltdown. Number three is frustration. Now, when they're struggling to maybe complete a puzzle, or they're not getting a drawing right, or they're struggling to tie on a shoelace or even get their shoes on, wear their coats, put on a shirt, right? When they're attempting to do something that they feel in their own capacity they can do, and they're not able to do it, frustration almost always sets in. And if they haven't developed the skills to cope or manage those emotions, then the emotions can actually boil over. Number four is seeking connection or attention. Now, sometimes they might just want a hug. They might just want you to just give them a little bit of attention, and they tend to cry or throw a tantrum just so that you can actually notice them. Actually, kids love to be seen and heard. So a lot of times I'd advise that a gentle hug or calm presence can actually make a big difference. So how do we solve that? What do we do in the moment? First of all, I would advise you to stay calm. Take a deep breath and come down to their level. Offer comfort and try to identify the trigger. You could say to them, I can see you're upset. Let's take a deep breath together. You could maybe ask if you realize what the triggers are. Are you hungry? Are you tired? Do you want to sleep? Do you want me to carry you? There must always be something that they're needing, and that's the reason why they're kicking off, or they're melting down, or throwing a tantrum. Understanding the why behind the meltdown empowers you to respond with empathy and patience. And it will help you to guide your child through that big emotion that they're experiencing, rather than reacting to them. Now, if you understand why your child is kicking off at every point in time, or you can sense the trigger and deal with it before it becomes an outburst, then you are on your way to success. To be honest, meltdowns aren't a bad behavior. They're about big feelings that the kids are not able to control. And by uncovering the root cause of these tantrums or these feelings, you then become your child's safe space and help them to build emotional resilience. Now, if you understand why, maybe you've gone out with your child from morning up until this time, and maybe all they had was breakfast, you can actually sense that about this time they'd start getting hungry or they'd start getting tired. So you can act, if you go out with your kids and you want to avoid a meltdown, you should be able to be conscious of your time, conscious of how much food they eat. If your kids are one who eats quite well, it's either you feed them properly in the morning and still take something extra along the way. Now, giving them those tiny little breaks in the course of the day would prevent those kinds of meltdowns. Or if you understand that maybe your child, like for my son, he loves to play games, but when he's tried and he can't go beyond a particular level, he kicks off, he starts to cry. It doesn't matter his age, but I've come to understand that whenever I see him grumbling and being very upset, I know that he's struggling with a particular level. So what do? I'll tell him, you know what, son, I think you should leave that game, play some other thing, and then your mind will actually percolate on other ideas as to how to solve that game. So give it some time, do some other thing, take your mind off it, and while you're doing that, at the back of your mind, your brain will actually be thinking of other ways to get that problem solved. Come back again to it after some time and you'll see that you'll be able to do it. And he's done that a couple of times and he's seen that it's worked for him. So being able to understand what's triggering them at every point in time is actually one of the best things that you would do to yourself as a parent and also to the child. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for watching, and remember that every big feeling is an opportunity to connect. Until next time, you take care of yourselves. And once again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell everybody to tell everybody, right? And bye.